Hi there, and welcome to another edition of EduFocus Online with me, Dr. Dean. I don't know about you, but I am pretty intrigued by how twins operate. A few years ago, I had the honor of meeting two beautiful ladies. They are both teachers. They teach at the same school. They both completed their masters. They are now busy embarking on their PhD studies. Yes, both of them. And so I went to find out what makes Samantha and Chantelle such inspirational people. But first, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon and watch every Monday and Thursday as we acknowledge, celebrate, and inspire our teachers. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, I'm Chantelle. I'm better known as Miss Mowers to my learners. I'm a teacher by profession and also a proud mom. I'm also one of a twin. I'm the eldest. I have a passion for teaching. I'm also a proud mom. I think being a mom is one of my greatest achievements. And being a mom and being a teacher, I see it's a good combination to live out my passion. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Samantha Hoffman. I am also a teacher, also a proud mom, and I love sports and I'm a lifelong learner. Thank you.
I'm at Gordon High. I was first at a primary school, but my dream and my passion was always working with young adults, and I've moved to the high school. I'm here for the past few years, I think about 4 years at Gordon High. My experience with of 2020, I think everyone can agree that it was a roller coaster, it is a roller coaster. Having to live with the unknown, the uncertainties, and I think my 2020 started all very rough, or on a good note, finding out that I'm pregnant and a few weeks later having miscarriage. So that was a bit tough on myself on a personal note, but that was also my driving behind my studies. So I used my situation to complete or rather work on my studies, and just to keep myself busy. Coming back after the lockdown was really hard because we didn't know what to expect, and the fear of contracting the virus, not knowing how the children would behave, all these uncertainties was really tough. But I think the shift in mindset, how you approach any situation, helped me cope, and also my drive being the hope for our learners. I think their fears and their uncertainties and their need to complete the academic year helped me change my approach in order to assist them. So yes, 2020, I'm still alive, I'm grateful. I'm in a better situation now because I think there's always hope. As long as we breathe and we live, there's always hope. Thank you.
Wow, I'm also a teacher at Gordon High. I am responsible for the history from grade 9 to grade 12. For me, basically 2020, it started off very, very well. I think every year we have plans, we have short-term, long-term plans, and things didn't work out the way we planned. But the fact that we are alive, 2020 taught us so much that we have so much to be grateful for. And living, like my sister said now, in the unknown, realizing that sometimes life is short, but we sometimes take things for granted. And for me, 2020, learning so much about new things, learning to adapt, finding your strength, your inner strength, finding peace with the things that you cannot change, and learning to accept that what you have to go through and what you deal with, that if it's beyond your control, that you cannot live your life and trying to fix things that can't be fixed at that moment, but finding a way every day to live in the moment, to make a difference for that day, seeing the day and the daily task, seeing it through, and the fact that we are alive and that we are well, while other people lost family members, they lost loved ones, and in different ways. And I think 2020 for me, yes, I can agree, it is and it was a roller coaster. When I look at where we started and where we are now, I think different seasons come in your life and different seasons go. The sun will always come out. It won't always stay winter. And I think for me, being a teacher, bringing hope to learners, not bringing only the curriculum, but fighting back, being resilient. Even though circumstances didn't look that well, there was a lot of people trying to be negative, there was a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, but I can agree that looking at your learners and seeing their fears, that you have to hide your own fears and staying strong for them, but also telling them it's okay to be fearful, it's okay to worry, to be stressed, allowing them to express themselves also, but also to learn out of this that because we don't know tomorrow, we have to appreciate today, and that life is more than just about what you can get materialistically, but we have to appreciate the things that money can't buy. So 2020, yes, I'm proud that we are alive. I'm proud that we're still fighting the battle to continue education regardless of what, that we are more focused in not only completing the curriculum, but also teaching our learners skills, also teaching ourselves skills that we have to try to adapt. Sometimes change is good because sometimes we are so stuck into the traditional way of doing things. Sometimes we're not open for change, and I think that the only thing in life that is constant is change, and I think that is what 2020 actually taught most of us. Thank you.
Well, I pursued further studies because it was always part of my long-term plan. I think when I did my undergrad, I always admired the doctors, the professors, and I always told myself that is where I wanted to be. And for me, studying became an addiction, but I think a good one, if I may say that. Furthering my studies was always part of the plan, like I said, because I am one that loves to seek solutions for the challenges. And please note, I don't say problem because when you look at a problem, you look at it as if it is a mountain. But when you see it as a challenge, you know there will be a solution. But you need to focus on the solution rather than focusing on the challenges. So I knew that education, the system, there is a lot of flaws, there's a lot of challenges for various reasons. And the little bit that we can do through studying, through research, can enable us to do things differently. And I always wanted to be part of those that make a difference. And through studying and through research, I believe I can do my part and contribute to the broader body of literature. So it's always been part of my plan to further my studies. What I'm currently busy with is my PhD. I am in the language department of education. My focus of the study is translingual assessment for multilingual learners. Just to sketch a background, we as South Africans are known for our deeply rooted cultures as well as our language differences that we have. and that is what makes us unique. And for me, it is a passion to embrace the fact that we have multilingual learners in our schools, but it is difficult for those learners that often study in a language that is not their mother tongue. So for me, it is a passion to go out to find solutions how I can assist those learners, especially in terms of assessment context, be it in the classroom, informal assessment or formal assessment. Yes, there is some evidence of language use where some of the question papers, especially on matric level, is in Afrikaans or English, or sometimes isiXhosa, but having the language in the classroom is sometimes viewed as an illegitimate practice. So I want to bring the norm into the classroom where we acknowledge learners' language differences, and we can use it as a resource to enable them, especially to make meaning. Because I'm of the opinion that it's not that our learners cannot academically perform, but sometimes they struggle to make meaning. And my study hoped to bring that change in terms of assisting those learners with meaning making. So yes, like I said, through research, I'm all about seeking solutions for the challenges, and that is me. That is my reason why I pursue further study. Thank you.
Yeah, well, guys, I can agree with what my sister said now. While we did our undergrad, we always told ourselves that we love being at university, and doing an undergrad was just a stepping stone of where we are heading. Yes, we always wanted to be part of the teaching profession, but what can we bring and do more to assist in the education system as a whole? Not just being a teacher in the classroom, but making changes where we can. And I think pursuing further studies, there was a lot of reasons for me, personal reasons, not just because you want to earn a title, but I think I always told myself that completing an undergrad will enable me to have a job and to be able to support myself, to support my children. But doing my postgrad studies is something that I do for me. It is something that drives me so that I can find that challenges that we have within the education system, that we can find solutions for that. And for me, looking at that, I had a lot of motivators. I think when I started off my orientation in my first year, the professors there said that don't just be a student number, and be known to your lecturers, be known to the people in your faculty. And I always told myself, wow, this is how I want people to know me. I want people to remember my name 100 years from now. So I'm not just going to be in the education faculty because I'm there for a degree. I'm going to continue. And I think my Prof. Marman used to tell me that, Samantha, don't just stop, continue. When I did my honors, he told me, then you apply for your masters, and then he motivated me when I was done, do your PhD. And I think, like my sister said, it's not just about having the title. Doing further studies is that you can make a difference. Yes, you cannot change the world at once, but you can change it little by little. So doing your contribution, giving your contribution in this instance, we're looking at scientific knowledge that we can contribute, and in the literature we can contribute. We can find models how to change things, and try to find solutions for the education system so that we can see a better future for our youth. So I'm also in doing my PhD in educational studies. My focus is currently the relevance of our current curriculum and assessment policy statement that we're currently using. If we look in South Africa and we look at the poverty in South Africa, and we look at how people struggle, and we look at especially our impoverished schools and learners, and how we can use the curriculum as an enabler so that these learners can rise above. Yes, we have a few learners that grows up in poverty-stricken areas that make it out there, but what about the masses? What about the majority of our learners finding themselves in poverty and in unemployment situations and inequality? And we are faced with that daily. If I look at my learners in the class, I can see that. If we look at the overcrowdedness in our classrooms, if we look at all the challenges we face daily in our schools, what are the roots of those problems? And I think currently the world are changing, and we are looking at new technologies. And with COVID now, we saw the huge gap. We saw the inequalities through this whole COVID-19 pandemic that happened, where we see that the learners who struggle most are the learners that find themselves in poor communities. And the fact that we do not even have enough tertiary institutions, so the learners that we put through school, what happens to them afterwards? So that is why when we look at education, how can we use the CAPS curriculum as a vehicle to respond then to poverty? How can we use CAPS? No, because we can change the curriculum, we can use a different curriculum, but changing the curriculum is not enough. Why are we changing the curriculum? Why are we looking at alternatives? We need to look at our roots first. We need to really go back to the drawing board, and we have to look at what are the stats in South Africa, how many people are really struggling, and how are we going to use education to emancipate, to empower, to give our people their dignity back. And I think that is why I need to complete my PhD, not for the title, but to show my learners, especially in the poor communities, that we can do it. We are here not because we have money, but we have the power to change whatever we are faced with. And that is why I pursued my PhD and my further studies. Thank you.
I think the challenges of studying part-time is finding a balance between your studies, being a mom, and a full-time teacher. Always trying to get that little bit done in terms of your studies, that reading, that articles that you want to read, your marking, and then also focusing on your children, trying to be the best mom that you can be. But for me, I don't really see it as a challenge studying part-time, because doing your postgrad studies basically put the ball in your court, where you need to be disciplined and you need to set yourself goals where you tell yourself, this is what I want to achieve in the next 3 months, or in the next 6 months, or in the next 12 months. So it can become a challenge, because you need to find a balance between your job and your other responsibilities, and also your studies. But if you work out a plan and you are determined enough to see your plan through, the challenges shouldn't be something that keeps you back, but it should also motivate you to get done and work hard to achieve what you set out in the first place. Yeah, so that is what I can tell you about what I see about the challenges of studying part-time.
Well, yeah, I can just add on with what my sister said now. I think the challenge for me when I did my honors degree, because it is structured, so you have to attend class, and you had to do assignments, and you had to write exams. So while working full-time and studying part-time, and you have a family, you really need discipline, and you need to work out a timetable, and also allow yourself that room also to breathe, but also to know that there are times that you have to make the sacrifices, your family support, as well is very important. Them understanding that you also, there are times that you have to sacrifice a Saturday, and the fact that at school you have to attend meetings, or you also have to maybe leave earlier because of traffic and that. So that is a real challenge, yes, for me. But then afterwards, when you do your masters and you do your PhD, where you have that opportunity where you have to read, but you're also a full-time teacher, so you have to mark, you have to find time to read the articles. So you have to balance your life and knowing that you also have to take care of your family, and it's like disciplining yourself, working out the timetable, not procrastinate. But also finding the balance, like my sister said. So yes, it is challenging because sometimes things happen that you didn't plan for, things that you can't control. Basically you have to discipline yourself. So the challenges are there, but I think when you have support, and I think also it also gives a lot, it says a lot about where you work, the dynamics, and I think that working at a school where our principal, he supports us in doing our further studies. Sometimes it is difficult because, you know, sometimes you have people that they are professional jealousy, and people don't always want you to further yourself, develop yourself because of their own shortcomings. But I think what made it easier for us at our school is that platform is created for us so that we can also develop ourselves. The support is really there from our colleagues and the motivation. So I think just the kind word from someone and the kind words of your learners, even your own family, your own children, and looking at why you are doing it. And not doing it because you want people to see you, that you have to talk about it. It's not about, people will know I have a master's degree, or people will know I have a PhD. It's not about talking about it, it's about doing things. So I think that is what is important. So the challenge is just keeping the balance. So for me, not really the challenge, there's not really big challenges, but we deal with it as we go along. Thank you.
I think being twins is a bonus in everything that we do, especially in terms of being our biggest supporters and motivators. We always wanted to further our studies, so it was never about who wanted to do it first. It was always we come in pairs, so we do everything together. So that also encouraged us to motivate each other, because at times you feel tired, you don't have the strength to go on, but then the one will come and say, listen, we need to do this, I found this for your study. Also, when you read with your study in mind as well as your sister's study, so that also keep everything alive, and that motivate us. So yes, that is a bonus, the fact that we drive each other, we support each other because we have a common goal that we want to complete this together, and we want to succeed, and we ultimately have the goal in mind to bring hope and bring change. So because we have that in common, it makes it so much easier for us to walk this journey together. And yeah, so for me, it's quite a privilege to have someone that is always there to encourage, to assist, to just help me move on and do what I want to do and what I love to do.
Yeah, my sister just explained everything in a nutshell. What I can add is just the fact that being twins, you're never alone. You have that friend before you were born, when you were born, and even it's like a life partner, you together always. And a lot of people still today will ask us, really, you're still together? We never see you guys apart. I think that is where the strength is coming from, the support. And with us, it's not a competition. It's not about who's doing what first. It's about doing things together. And that togetherness shows that we carry one another. in good times, in bad times, we share, and we are always there. So we are each other's biggest fans. We are each other's biggest supporters. So I think having a sister, you have a friend. And like I said, it's like a given life partner that you were blessed. And a lot of people will say it's double the trouble. With us, my parents would say it's double the blessing. And I think just studying together, doing things together, reading, then you read in mind, oh, this will help Chantelle. She will read in, oh, this will help Samantha. And I think this is where the fun part is that at night when we are apart, we have our own separate lives, even though we're twins, and we're always together, we work together, we shop together, we spend most of our times together, but we also have our own family lives that we also have to apart from one another. But I think even when we're apart, we will phone one another. We have our face chats and we will phone and we just have to share, and it's just about doing things together. And I think we are really blessed. And just the fact that we can do our PhD together, we study together, and like Chantelle said now, we support one another. And that is what makes the challenges even better for us to tackle, because you don't have to do it alone, you do it together. And I think the support and how we do things, and even though you're tired, and the motivation is there, the encouragement is there, and just staying focused, and that we want what is best for one another, not I want this for me. It's not about me. You heard what Chantelle said, it's we. So we don't do the me, we don't do the I, we definitely do the we. Thank you.
Well, if I can have a word of encouragement or to motivate other teachers, I would say that firstly, you stay true to yourself. You need to find your passion. In today's life, if you're in the teaching profession for the money, you're definitely in the wrong profession. You will never be able to be rich with our salary. But you know what is more rewarding is the little achievements of your learners. Even if you get your learner to progress from a 30 to a 32%, that is rewarding. The little reasons that give you hope to go to your classroom and face it. And also when you look at your learners, you must see it as a reflection of yourself, because what you send out in the universe will come back to you. And I'm a firm believer that when you face your learners, when you face the challenges, you do it with courage, you do it with pride, because there's always hope, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And also, if I can motivate anyone to study, for me to study is just something totally different. It keeps me alive, it keeps me going. So it's a requirement from SACE that we need to develop ourselves, and to do further studies is one of the important things I can say that can add value to your journey in your professional development. So if I can motivate teachers, never give up. The road is never easy, but it is worth it. And when you feel down, when you feel want to give up, just think about that little faces that looks at you, that wants you to be that beacon of hope. So just be yourself, stay true to yourself, and go for what you want. Don't stagnate. Don't feel that you need to always back down for someone else, and nothing just happened. I always tell my learners that nothing just happened. You need to work hard for it. So you can't expect to reap something if you didn't even try. And some people always have the tendency to want something, but they don't want to earn it, they don't want to work for it. So nothing in life comes easy. So for me, you need to work towards a goal. You need to set up a long-term and a short-term plan, and you need to try and achieve it. Yes, obstacles will be there, and you need to acknowledge that life happens. But when you have challenges, it's not there for you to give up, but it's that stepping stone for you to take it and use it as your driving point to get where you want to be. Because if you set out your goals for yourself, you need to, or you want to achieve it, and that should motivate you enough to become better, because you need to be better than yesterday. I always tell my learners that you can't be the same like yesterday. It means that you didn't grow, you didn't develop. Even if you learn one word today, you need to use that as your stepping stone, because there must be evidence of growth, and through that you must open yourself, you must change your mindset, because at the end of the day, change is something that will always happen, it's inevitable, and we need to open ourselves, we need to embrace change in order to better ourselves. So that is my motivation for the teachers. Don't give up, be that smile to your learners, bring that hope, bring that smile, because we live in times where our learners live in hardship. They have it very difficult, and we need to encourage them. When they look at us, they should want to do better for themselves as well. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a mouthful. So I think from my side, motivating teachers, even though being a teacher today is tough, there will always be challenges, but my motivation to teachers are the fact that we are there to encourage our learners. We are there to bring hope to our learners. We're not just there in a classroom where we are there to bring a curriculum, but we are there to teach a curriculum to bring hope to our learners, so that they can know and they can understand that there is hope for tomorrow. And yes, sometimes you feel overloaded, you feel overworked, but just remember, you need to find the comfort in the uncomfortable situation. Sometimes people want to be in a comfort zone, and I think for me personally, I am not a person for a comfort zone. I am a person that will, if there's challenges, I will go out and I will find a solution. So as teachers, we need to be lifelong learners. We need to develop ourselves. We need to see if this methodology didn't work, what else can I do? How will it benefit my learners? But most of all, we as teachers need to stand together. When we work at a school, we need to support one another. We need to motivate one another. We need to carry one another. I think sometimes we get caught up in why are we there? Are we there just because we are doing a job to earn a salary? Are we there because we are looking for a promotion post? Are we there because we want to stir up trouble? Why are we there? You need to know your purpose. And I think for me, being a teacher, you must have a purpose at school. And the purpose goes beyond just teaching in class, but you bring hope, not only for your learners, but you bring hope for your teachers, because we all come into the school. We have different faces, we have different challenges, we have obstacles inside the classroom, outside the classroom. We have our own family, we have our own challenges that we deal with also. But you cannot step into the school and come in there and make your challenges that you have a priority above why you are there. So as a teacher, I think we need to open ourselves up so that we know that change will always happen, and I can agree with that. But also allow ourselves to make mistakes. And remember that mistakes are proof that we are trying. But also when you make a mistake, admit that you are wrong, and then you can learn from your mistake. It's it's good that you admit that you don't know it all. That is why, as a teacher, if you don't know, it's okay not to know, but don't stay there. Move forward. Go find out the unknown. But sometimes people are content with just being a teacher, and that is okay. But being a teacher doesn't necessarily mean that you need to stick to your subject knowledge, but that you're supposed to teach. But enable yourself so that you are capable to work in all spaces. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are, that we as teachers, we are the beacon of hope. We are the face of every other profession. We are the drivers. We are the motivators. We are the game changers. We might not be seen as the heroes, but we are there because we step up. We come to the party. We are there for our learners, and therefore, even though we don't get the respect that we deserve, we know that even if we can't change the whole classroom, we go into that class because there are one learner that needs us. And or even though all learners needs us on a daily basis, but there will be that one learner that you know that today I made a difference. Be the reason that people smile. Don't be the reason that people feel I don't want to come back to school. Don't be that reason that your learners feel I want to be a dropout. Be that teacher that brings that very same learner that don't want to be there. They come to school because you are there. You make it worthwhile for them. Be that teacher that motivates other teachers, so that even the teachers that feel I don't feel like coming to school, they will come because your smile, your kind words light up the day. And I thank you.